Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Danny Pessy Show. Here we are in Medellin, Colombia, with two of my favorite remote salesmen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you know them, then they need no introduction. But for the people that don't, why don't you two gentlemen introduce yourselves?
What's good? My name is Carlos Villanueva. As you guys know, you've seen me on Sales Talk with Solar Pros, knocking doors in Australia, making phone calls, busting out from Australia into the US, and also knocking doors in the US as well. Let's go.
All right, guys, I'm Chad Yaslova, and we actually knew each other from the previous industry as well, but it was Carlos who actually dragged me into the solar industry. So as he mentioned, we have been selling in Australia, we've been selling in the United States, and we've been selling remotely from Medellin, Colombia as well. Interesting place to be.
Yeah.
Interesting place. This place is freaking sick, guys. You can get avocados delivered to your door. You can get fresh coffee and a substance that is illegal, but we won't be talking about it here today. So that's the thing, guys. We're here. This is the first time the Danny Pessy Show has been outside of the United States. I'm super excited. You guys have seen these guys on Facebook. You've seen them around. The Australian solar pros. They're here in Medellin. And now they're making deals and signing wheels. Signing wheels, that's when you refresh the page and the wheel clears, approved, signed, sick. So guys, we're here. We've got some fun stuff planned today. We're gonna be doing a coffee tour here in a little bit. But we wanted to jump in and do a quick podcast because I keep getting people talking about solar. I come from the door-to-door space. Obviously, you guys know I've been knocking doors for 16 years. If you don't, now you do. And everyone's talking about this remote thing. And for me, I always have been attracted to, hey, work and travel. And for me, I've really enjoyed, since I've been in the now coaching industry for 2 years now, and still selling, being able to work remotely and partially being able to travel the world, selling remotely and being able to live your life in a different location. Because, the whole thing sitting in an office 9 to 5, is getting played out. So for the people watching this right now, what is remote closing?
Yeah, man. So remote closing is literally being anywhere in the world, having access to internet or a phone, and being able to still do what you do, which is close solar sales, without having to be in front of a customer. For us, it's almost came like it was we ran across it by accident because we're here waiting for our new visas to go back to the US, and it started taking a long time. So we had to figure out how we're going to continue selling into the US without actually being there.
Hey, right? It's United States taking a long time to do stuff? No way! Jeez, terrible.
And it's a high ticket product, man. Like you're selling something from $30,000 all the way up to $100,000, sometimes $130,000. How, like for most people, they can't get it through their head. How can you actually do that without being in front of the customer? And we were already doing it in Australia. We were already selling solar in Australia, but the big difference is solar down there is like $5,000 to $10,000, much easier sale. Yeah. Whereas doing it into the US required much more of a skill, much more of a process to follow. And we worked it out. We've been doing it now for the last 6 months from Colombia.
Damn. So as you guys hear that? Solar in Australia is only $5,000 to $10,000. They're like, we're done with this. We're out of here. We're moving over to Australia. I think we've got some clips from you guys actually in Australia closing. Let's cue those up right now. Man, that was hilarious. Did you see those accents? Jeez Louise, sounds better than me when I was in college trying to be a performer. But yeah, so that's the thing. You guys were in Australia. You're like, bro, this doesn't work. What made you guys drop a dying industry and pick up a new one? Because a lot of guys that are watching this now, people still, it's crazy to me that you have to follow with what the market wants. And I was so attached as being a sales rep in security that it was hard for me to mentally shift over to solar. And since I've done it, my life has changed. The people that have switched over, their lives have changed. So for you guys, what was the big thing that said, hey, I'm going to let go of what I know in Australia and move into the United States and start taking it up?
Well, it was actually COVID that was the catalyst. But prior to that, we had communication with some really successful people within US as well, who told us about all the different opportunities as well, and we wanted to explore that. And that was in Feb of 2020. When we had, a chat with them and we saw the opportunity, we said, okay, look, this is great. Let's, start making some moves. And then when we got back, COVID shut everything down, and we said, okay, that's basically the catalyst. We need to start taking action right now. So we went, and Australia, is it a dying industry? Look, it's basically, I think, the future of United States. Yeah. So there were still opportunities, but you had to work a lot harder.
Yeah.
The margins were a lot thinner as well. And that's where we saw opportunity, because we knew where the United States was going to go as well, with regulations, with margins as well.
Yeah.
And so we said, okay, let's really take action right now. Yeah.
Australia is at the point where it doesn't require the salesperson to be able to sell solar. So people can go on and they can actually order solar online. Whereas in the US, it's still, I believe it's like 2 or 3% of the US has solar. So it requires guys like us to be able to push it and get people to do it today rather than doing it tomorrow.
Got it. And if you guys didn't know this, the percentage of people in the United States that have solar is actually going down. There's more homes being built than people are acquiring solar. So our industry is actually growing extremely rapidly. And it's pretty cool. So there's a lot of guys think, it's saturated and like that, but realistically, it is so not. And I remember knocking doors for so many years, hitting markets that just get hit every single year over and over and over again. And I've always found success, even in markets that were hit the previous year, being able to throw down tons of accounts. And so, if you're watching this right now, it's just incredible that, people think that this is, going to come to an end eventually. And it will not come to an end, but it'll be different.
Yeah.
And being able to pivot is the big thing I wanted to see your impact on. And because, with you guys leaving Australia because of COVID and the smaller commissions, you saw a bigger opportunity. And that's what people, if you're watching this right now, got to realize you have to be able to pivot. Because so many people get attached to a certain thing. Like I had in my mind for years, I wanted to be a regional, I wanted to sell 300 accounts a year, and I wanted to manage an office of 5,000, a region of 5,000 accounts. And, it didn't ever turn out that way until my last year. And then after that, I saw that alarms wasn't the play anymore, and I pivoted over to solar, and it kind of took off. And so that's the big thing is, if you're watching this, realize that you're going to have to make moves in life. You're going to have to take pivots. So when you're taking those pivots, don't be afraid, because you already have the skill set inside of you. And once you've developed those skills, you can put them into a new platform, and then you can just start taking off to the moon, which we could see for you guys. What were you guys into before you started selling remote solar in Australia?
So we originally started in-home presentations in Australia for solar, and then we got into remote. So we built a call center.
Okay.
It was because of COVID.
Got
But
it.
before that, I was in corporate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was like a company like, what do you call it? AT&T.
Oh, wow. Cell phone company.
Cell phone company. Always in customer service and sales, but it was built around the corporate lifestyle.
Got
So
it.
now I got sick of that, and then I got into my own business, which was like a tax return company online.
Okay.
But I didn't know how to sell, so I had to really quickly find a job in sales, get into commission only. That's where I really learned, and that was in solar. And from that day, I never looked back, man.
Hey, dude.
That was 6 years ago.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that tax business was actually in international education, and that's where we met as well.
Yeah.
So we were helping Latin American students study abroad in Australia, Canada, USA, and opening offices around here. So a 6-month stint ended up being 3 years here, and we spent some time here as well, just partying, having a great time as well.
Yeah.
But I saw Carlos's development as a salesperson as well, and I was always really interested in sales as well, and we had a mutual mentor as well that we aspired to, Grant Cardone.
GC.
Gee.
And so, the more I saw that in Carlos as well, the more our communication increased as well, and that's when it developed into business partnership.
And love.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's freaking sick, dude. Because that's the thing is, as I'm hearing you guys talk, and it's really cool because I see a lot of people moving their life around to fit their business. And what it seems like you guys are doing is you're moving your business around to fit your life. And at the end of the day, you look back on your life and you're like, well, did I spend it with people that I like and enjoy? It's like, dude, you guys maintained a healthy friendship, and then you moved your business from being in person, now being able to do it remote. It's really cool. And that's another level of success. And I was having a conversation with somebody. It's like, one guy might make $500,000, but he's working 24/7 and he can't enjoy his life. Whereas there's another guy who only makes $300,000, but he's able to travel and enjoy his life much more. And it's like, which person is more successful? Well, financially, maybe the person that makes more money is, but what kind of life is he living?
Yeah.
And so that's one of the big trade-offs that I've seen with solar that I loved, and that it's not possible. It wasn't possible with alarms, is, I was working 24/7. I had literally 10 months of strict work, and I couldn't stop knocking because you make $500 to $800 a sale. And then now my last year at Vivint, I maxed out the pay scale. It was like $400, $500. It's just terrible. And so I knew that was dying. And so, it's just crazy to see now with the amount of commissions you can do. You could literally sell one deal a month and live like a king.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's one thing that I've really enjoyed seeing. And, the people that came from other industries coming in here and actually enjoying life. And for me, I wasn't able to, I traveled a little bit, but now I'm able to travel a lot more and speak. And that's just such a cool thing. And the big underlying message for you watching this episode is sometimes in life, you have to give up what you know so that you can grow. And, for me, I was so attached to a certain identity, and I realized as soon as I let that go and I had the confidence in myself, I could step into a new space, whether it's solar, and if solar ends up going away, there's another space, but realizing you have the skill set inside of you, so whatever you go to next, you've got the confidence. And what's cool is you guys have done that while maintaining a friendship and growing. And so if you're watching this right now and you're noticing this, hey, if you find somebody that you like and they're both on the same path, stick with them and grow this sucker. Because at the end of the day, you look back on your life and it's like, dude, you work 24/7, you don't have any friends, you got a ton of money, and you missed out on all these opportunities. So, I've personally loved being here in Medellin, and it's been so cool to see what you guys have created down here. And, I want to make sure that people that are looking into this can reach out to you. And if they want to sell remote and look into that, how can they contact you and you kind of show them what's up? Because I think also you guys have people that come in temporarily. If they want to travel for a month, just come and hit it with you guys. You'll set them up with a full platform and show them how to do everything and come and enjoy Colombia. Because I think you can live here for less than $800 a month.
Yeah, man. The biggest thing that we talk about isn't giving up door to door. We're not against door to door or anything like that, but we're basically just giving people another tool, in their arsenal that they can use to continue selling if they do feel either burnt out or they want to be able to spend more time with their family. So the biggest tip that we give, guys in the door-to-door industry is you already have a database of people that you've been collecting in your apps, database of people that you've been collecting in your spreadsheets. How do you actually get those people, reactivated? How do you get them, back on the phone? Once they're on the phone, what do you say? Yeah. Right? Once you book them in for an appointment, how do you actually convert them into a paying customer without being back in front of them? So we teach them how to do that, from end to end without them having to purchase any leads until they reach the point where they want to, start scaling out their operation. But at the beginning, every door-to-door guy can do this. They can come here, they can sell one deal and 5x their commissions because of the conversion rate here in Colombia. It's just so,
Yeah, it's been nuts. I mean, I've literally was out this morning. I bought breakfast for 4 of my friends, coffee, and it was like $40.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, I'm dropping that every single day, triple that in LA.
Uber's $2, right? Yeah. $1.50.
$1.50, bro, is freaking nuts, dude.
And that presents new opportunities as well, right? Because you're making these very high commissions, and you've got the opportunity to be able to save more as well and put that towards financial freedom as well.
And that's the other thing too, is you get to see what an amazing life is outside of the United States. That's why I love traveling, and it's my next segue is, my biggest thing is I like to work hard, play hard, and give back. That's my 3 core principles of my business, and I talk about it a lot. And when I give back, it's I like to do it in a different country so that I can go and experience their culture and experience that. And there's so much hate going on in the world these days. If you travel to some of these countries and see kind of how they live, you have such an appreciation for it. And it's sad that the way certain cultures and people get spun in certain lights, and when you go there and you experience their lifestyle, you have such a huge respect for them, and that's what I've really loved about doing it. And so I've built my life around I've built my business around my life. I want to travel, I want to have fun, so I can come out and do this stuff. And so for me, that's why I built Solar Gives Back. It's my humanitarian project that I've been doing. And I literally was in Costa Rica before this, and I was able to work with some of our partners, Quativa and Globalware. And we went down there, we had about 50 people. We rebuilt a school for a small community. And what was great was there's different solar companies from around the country all coming together and working for a full week. Amazing. And all these people you get to meet on the internet and all these chats, they come together for 1 week and just do something good for the world. And if we can come together as a solar community, because our space does have pull inside the world, and I think that the bigger that we stick together and start doing good for the world instead of just taking, we make good commissions, but who's taking time to be intentional and giving it back? That's one big thing that I wish once a year would be great for all of us to come together and do that. And I know you were with me when I was doing my $100 tip club. And one thing that I really am big on is every market that I go to, I try to do like a get together for all the solarpreneurs in the area. And we all work at we go eat dinner at a small restaurant, and we all chip in $100 for the waitress or the waiter, and they love that. So if you're watching this right now, next year, I'm taking a group down to South Africa, and it's going to be mid-November, right before Thanksgiving again. And it's going to be a really, really good experience. And I'd love, if you're watching this, to come and join. And it doesn't matter what company you're with, who cares? This is a chance for us to take off our uniforms, come together as people, and let the world see what solar can do. And I know we make great money and we make great commissions and overrides and all that stuff, but let's take a minute to be intentional and go somewhere and do good for other people. And so that's what I'd say. If you're watching this right now, we'd love to have you. And I'd love to have you guys here next year too as well, because South Africa is going to be sick. We're going to be doing a little bit of a leadership retreat followed by the charity. So we're a group of small business owners get together. We jam out for a day or two. We're still figuring out the stuff. It's a long way away. But yeah, dude, it's going to be a lot of fun. And so last year was Peru. This year was Costa Rica. Next year, we're going to be hitting up South Africa. And it's going to be a blast. So
what made you choose South Africa out of all countries?
It's a great experience, because I believe that in life you look back and you don't enjoy the things you have, you think of experiences. And if we could go to an area that is so unique and you can have such a great experience, it'll be a highlight of your life. When you go back and write a book, there's different highlights that happen to you. And these charity events have been the highlight of my life, because it's not just me going out and being selfish, buying a bunch of crap, which I do, but I also work hard and I give back. And so for me, if I can balance that by being a good person, it's worth it to me. And I've loved just going to these places that can't afford to do certain things. Like the last day we were there, we had like 50 to 100 kids come to the community center, and we gave them a bunch of toys right in time for Thanksgiving and Christmas, which I found out they don't celebrate Thanksgiving in Costa Rica. Weird. Why not? Stupid. But don't get me started. But yeah, that's one thing that's really, really cool, is you get to see that. And so, life goes by so quick. My first charity event was in Nepal in 2013. And as I'm in Costa Rica working, I flashed back on my Facebook memories. 9 years ago, was in Nepal. And it literally seems like yesterday. And I had such great memories there. And this solar coaster that we're on right now, we never know how long it's going to be, but those memories will last with you forever, because your life will be done in a second. It's freaking crazy. Yeah, I'd love to see you guys there, and hopefully you guys got some value out of this. And where can these guys reach out to you and find out more about this? Because it's kind of a freaking fantastic idea to come down and hang out here in Colombia. So where can they catch you guys at?
Yeah, man. So our social media is number one. So Instagram is the main platform that you can reach me on, at the Carlos Villanueva. At the Carlos
We'll
Villanueva.
put that here, because I just...
Yeah, so you've got my Instagram as well, and I'm sure it'll be below.
We also host the group Sales Talk with Solar Pros.
That's a huge group, one of the biggest ones in the space.
Yeah, a lot of value going into that group. So if you want to, shoot the shit, or if you want to, know more about solar, jump into that group. And you've got some, high-level guys like Danny, who's always posting amazing value, and a whole bunch of other guys as well.
Dude, I think we might have to have an event down here one of these days. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, I think more and more people need to know about this and experience the lifestyle as well.
It is, dude. Yeah. It's been fantastic. So guys, there you have it. Thanks for tuning into the Danny Pessy Show, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.